Raptor nails won't damage sander belts. Just drive the nails flush, sand off the heads, and add stain. Raptor, the genuine American original.
Micro-Jig, maker of the gripper. Work safer, work smarter.
For my bathroom wall shelf, I'm going to use some leftover maple ply from my bookcase build that I just completed. I only need 35 inches for the wall shelf, but I'm going to cut this a little bit oversized so that after I put the edge banding on, I can trim it to its final length after it's finished. Before I can rip this ply to its final width, I'm going to straighten one edge of the joiner and get it nice and flat and straight. Now usually when I use my joiner to edge joint ply, someone in the comment section will usually ask if this damages my joiner knives. I've never had any problems edge joining plywood at my joiner, and when my knives get dull, I just sharpen them. It's really not a big deal, but if you don't feel comfortable edge joining plywood at your joiner, you can find probably another way of doing this on the internet. For the edging on the plywood shelf, I'm going to use a leftover piece of scrap bird's eye maple. I'm going to flatten one face of the joiner and then square one edge. If you've ever worked with bird's eye maple, you probably know that it can be somewhat of a difficult species to work with. What can happen at the planer, for example, is that the knives can actually chip out the little bird's eyes and leave a depression. So what I'm going to do is pass this through the drum sander on both faces just to clean it up. I need to make a dado all the way down the length of the bird's eye maple so that the front of the plywood can fit inside of it, and I'm going to leave about 1/8 of an inch lip on the top. If you have problems with the plywood fibers tearing out, place a piece of blue tape along the cut line. It'll help keep the fibers down and you'll get a really nice cut that way. I know normally I don't stain my projects, but on this one my wife wanted the maple to be a little bit darker, so I'm going to use something called a golden pecan to give it some color. And I'm also hoping that the stain brings out the bird's eyes and the bird's eye maple on the front. I'm going to make some ledgers out of some scrap maple, and the ledgers will just get attached to the drywall with screws, and the shelf will just rest right on top of them. The weight of the shelf is supported by these ledgers, which are screwed to the drywall with drywall screws, and you may or may not need to use drywall anchors with yours. Well, that's it. I'd like to quickly ask that you guys please consider becoming a supporter of Garage Woodworks by joining my Patreon community, and you'll find a link in the description of this video. Also, check out the websites of Raptor Nails and Microjig and see what they have to offer. And tell them I sent you. Thanks for watching, guys.